Joe Hopkins here, and I'm here with a little bit of a rant today. Is social media toxic, right? That's a big debate these days. It's a big debate in the media. It's a big debate on social media. It's a big debate in Congress and with politics. And is it toxic? Well, here's my thoughts on it for what it's worth, right? Because I think my thoughts are worth something. No, social media isn't toxic. We're toxic. Social media is just a platform that allows people to go on there and talk to each other, right? It's pretty neutral in and of itself. But of course, what they're talking about is, does social media allow toxicity? Does it allow all this toxic nonsense? Well, anywhere you allow people, you're going to get a lot of toxic nonsense. And the thing about it, I find the majority of this discussion on it to be unbelievably disingenuous. I don't think what people are really complaining about is the toxicity. I think they're mostly complaining that other people have opinions and thoughts that they don't agree with. Because what I've found, this is the interesting thing about how toxic your social media feed is. I've found, my personal, experience, is that what you look up a lot is what they show you more of. Their algorithms have gotten pretty good at showing you more of what you like or what you're looking up. Not necessarily what you like, but what you're looking at. The more you look at it, the more it shows you. For instance, my feeds, most of them are, on various social media platforms, are guitar stuff, cartoons, pandas, raccoon videos. I like raccoons and pandas and red pandas, stuff like that. I get a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't look up a bunch of angry political rants and people screaming and yelling about stuff, so I don't get that on my feed. So first of all, if your social media feed is toxic, try looking at and liking and thumbs upping and various things like different stuff that isn't toxic, and see if it doesn't start to thin out after a while. That toxicity, see if it doesn't thin out after a bit. If you stop liking it and stop watching it, it'll stop showing it to you. And I know people will argue that, oh no, they show me things I didn't ask for. Yeah, of course it shows you things you didn't ask for. It shows you things you didn't ask for, but that seems in the vein of stuff you like. So, I mean, that's been my personal experience. It hasn't shown me a bunch of toxic stuff because I look up guitar players, cartoons, and pandas. So it shows me guitar players, cartoons, and pandas. That's what I get on my social media feeds. But here's the thing about it, right? I've found that on both sides of any argument, we're mostly talking about politics. So let's say on both sides, right? I'm not naming a side because I don't have to. It applies either way. You have a bunch of toxic people yelling a bunch of nonsense, and a bunch of toxic people on the other side yelling a bunch of nonsense. And both sides claim the other side is toxic and that they're the truth. It's what both sides are doing. It's what everybody's doing. They seem mostly mad that the other side is spewing a bunch of toxic nonsense that they don't agree with. And freedom of speech seems to equal my toxic thoughts and opinions, but not theirs. Theirs is toxic, mine's freedom of speech. And because it's true, because it's mine, it seems to be the gist of it. And most of the time, I could be wrong, but this is what I've found, because, hey, I know a lot of conservatives, and I know a lot of liberals, and what I've found is most of what they're yelling about the other side having said is what they were told the other side said. Like, both sides, they don't really seem to be looking at what anybody's saying, listening to it, reasoning it out at all. They just listen to whatever their side says the other side said and then screams it's toxic. Well, has it occurred to you that your side might not be terribly honest about it, right? Because, I mean, yeah, you think your side might be lying a bit about the other side. Not to say the other side isn't toxic, but it gets skewed a little bit. I have heard enough of this stuff because my friends share things which I don't like. I don't hit like because I don't want more of it on my feed. And what I found is usually what they're saying isn't what the other side said. It's an extreme version, kind of warped and changed to make it sound worse. You know, and usually what the other side said isn't terribly great to begin with. But everybody's mad about not even the crazy thing they said, but the crazy thing they said that was then amplified by somebody on TV or the radio or some talking head somewhere or some meme maker or, I don't know, some Russian bot or whatever, right? It's it's a little crazy. And here, all this goes to Congress, right? Because Congress has to weigh in on this because, of course, that's more important than, you know, passing a budget or making laws. This is the thing we have to be concerned about. Oh, wow. But here I listen, because I do listen to the news on the radio, and I hear what a lot of these folks are saying, you know, a lot of our Congress people. And I've found that a lot of times what they're saying also isn't remotely true. Like, they're spouting a bunch of toxic nonsense about how we shouldn't have a bunch of toxic nonsense on social media. It's like they literally are spouting the toxic nonsense and then complaining about the toxic nonsense because it gets votes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with these guys. They're just as toxic. In fact, they kind of invented this whole paradigm. Maybe Congress is upset. The politicians are upset because spouting toxic political nonsense has been democratized and it's no longer their personal purview anymore. They have to share it with the world now. They want to re-corner the market on spouting toxic nonsense. So I don't find social media to be toxic. But once again, it's because I don't look at a lot of this stuff and it doesn't show me more of it because I didn't look it up. But if you're looking up a bunch of political nonsense, yeah, it's going to show you the other side too. I would assume, you know, it showed me something I didn't want to see. Well, I think that people are looking up stuff that doesn't make them very happy. And then they get addicted to looking up more stuff that doesn't make them happy. Getting angry, getting mad about stuff can be addictive. Let it go. Fuck it. Who cares what the other side says? Who cares what they're doing? Who cares about any of it? It's all a pack of lies anyway. They lie, this side lies, that side lies, the politicians lie. Everybody's just lying. And at the end of the day, we should all endeavor to be a little bit happier, not angrier. It's my personal opinion. I got enough problems in life without adding to them by being upset about what this guy said or what that guy did or whatever, you know? That's my rant on, is social media toxic? Because I don't think it inherently is. I think we the people are pretty damn toxic. And I think at the end of the day, we are very close to fucking up a good thing. Because social media is really good. I like Facebook. I like YouTube. I like Instagram. And they give a lot of average people opportunities. Right? Here I am on YouTube. I have an opportunity to do my music and to rant, obviously, and to do various things and to be seen and heard. My wife is on Facebook, and it gives her an opportunity as a writer to get her work out there and to have people see it and read what she has to say about things. And she's got a pretty good following going. It's a solid opportunity. And every time people complain, then Facebook changes the algorithm, right? Because of all the complaints. And now she has to dance around semantics. She has to, word things carefully because her post could get blocked because these people are upset about something or those people are upset about something. And she's not even writing about those things. She's writing about something completely different, but you got to be careful of what words you use now. And we're messing this up. We're messing this up badly by being toxic and then complaining about our own toxicity. And if we're not careful, we're going to lose a lot of what we have, because at some point it's going to be too great a liability to allow the freedom of speech that we've enjoyed online thus far. So, I mean, keep in mind, other people thinking things and having opinions different than yours is okay. And if you take away their right to speak, you're going to take away your right to speak. That's kind of how it works. At some point, it all ends up just going away. And getting Congress whipped into a frenzy over this nonsense because we all complain about it is just going to cause us to really lose something good. Eventually, they'll legislate something, and they're not known for legislating this kind of stuff in any reasonable way. Look at that Communications Act they did back at, what was it, in the 90s, the one that covers, protects platforms from liability. Not the best law. The way it was worded and the intent. You listen to the judges talk about it, and their intent was completely misguided. It shows they don't understand the internet at all. They don't understand the issue at all. And they're not going to understand it any better now. And they're going to legislate something that really screws this up and kills Facebook. And you know what I mean? YouTube already has enough problems with copyright issues and the way they enforce that. I'm sure everybody in the music world, anybody that's into music has heard about all that kind of stuff. But we have enough problems, man. But we're going to lose something good if we don't. You don't even have to stop being toxic. You just have to stop crying for everybody else being toxic too. Just accept that we're all toxic and move on with your life. And if you don't want to see that kind of stuff, don't look it up. It's my humble opinion. And I know some people are going to tell me it does show me things that are this and that. And I'm sure it does, because you're looking up stuff that's related. That's my thoughts on it. And, I might believe people. I might have if I wasn't on these platforms and not getting all the toxic nonsense, because I don't look up that or anything related to it. So it just doesn't show it to me, which means it's possible to not see it, because I don't. It's possible. It doesn't just show it to you out of the blue. There's an algorithm. They want you to see more of what you seem to like. So stop seeming to like it and it'll stop showing you that junk. Or if you do like that junk, just, I don't know, stop crying that other people think differently than you. I don't know what to say. At least stop writing your congressman. We don't need Congress involved. Anyway, that's my rant. That's my rant on social media and the toxicity of it these days. I don't want to lose Facebook and YouTube, guys. Just knock it off already. Everybody out there, just, yeah. Life is hard enough as it is. Anyway. And don't believe everything you hear on there, okay? That's just the other thing. Most of it's lies, right? Most of what you see, I keep having to tell my kid when she comes up with this nonsense that she saw on YouTube, like, it's not true. YouTube lies to you. Well, not YouTube, but YouTubers. It's clickbait. They're trying to get you to watch it, and you did, and all right. Anyway, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more musical type stuff in the near future here, including reviewing my new bass that's coming up. Yeah, and I'll see you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.